What's going on, guys? Your boy Mayon Jones here. We back here with another NFL reaction. This time we're doing our Week 15 reaction for this week. We're gonna do a little recap. So we're gonna get things started here. But before I give you my Week 15 reaction and recap for this week, don't forget to put thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to my channel for more watching, and comment down your opinion below to see what you think. So let's get things started here. I want to talk about this game. I need to talk about the Falcons upsetting the Bucks because, as far as I'm concerned, the Bucks defense was the problem of why they lost this game. Now, here's why. Now, I don't understand why, but I have a lot to say about this game because this game right here was a fun game to watch, and the Falcons pulled it off. And I want to talk about the positive because the Falcons so far offensively, they did not look great. And all of a sudden, they were able to come back and win this game like they did. Like, I thought Atlanta's defense played outstanding. Like, it pretty much did a little bit of the game. Because I looked at the stats so far. Atlanta, as you already know, they outgained the Falcons by 467 total yards. And they had 5 sacks. And they had a lot of times possessions. And basically for the Buccaneers defense was the problem. They lost this game. Because here's the thing. How could you let the Falcons come back while being up by 2 scores? Like, that's crazy. Like, how do you let the Falcons come back on you and win the game while you're up by 2 possessions? That's crazy. Like, the Bucks were looking good offensively and defensively for the entire first half. Like, it pretty much did until it came toward late in the fourth quarter. The Falcons made the Falcons offense look good. I mean, you made Kirk Cousins look like a starting quarterback out there who's not even good, and all of a sudden you just let him shine, light you up like crazy. Like, they just made Kyle Pitts look like Rob Gronkowski out there. And David Sills, I don't even know. You gave up big plays there, and Kyle Pitts even scored 3 touchdowns. And Todd Bowles don't even know what he's doing defensively. Like, he blitzed, but all of a sudden you don't get pressure. Like, that's what you're supposed to do defensively. You got to get pressure on the quarterback. They only sacked Kirk Cousins 1 time, which that's good, but you got to at least give more pressure on him. You got to sack him at least multiple times to give up negative yards. Like, how do you make the Falcons convert on fourth down like crazy? Like, you just gave the Falcons a chance. Like, basically, you could have won the game if you had a chance. Like, here's the thing, because this Bucks offense so far is one of the best in football. Mike Evans had a good game. Emeka Egbuka had a good game. Chris Godwin had a good game. Like, Bucks had a great game as well, but offensively, but defensively, they were looking terrible. Like, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop Bijan Robinson. You couldn't contain them. Like I've been saying, the Bucks have been good against the run all year, but they've been terrible against the pass. Like, how do you let Kirk Cousins and light you up? How do you let the Falcons offense shine? Like, they didn't have Drake London. And Darnell Mooney acts like he's scared of his own shadow. And Kyle Pitts had a good game. Like, how do you let the Falcons offense just go past you without Drake London? Like, they didn't have Drake London out there, and all of a sudden, you still lost the game. Like, that's unbelievable. Like, Todd Bowles needs to be fired because what he's doing is unacceptable. Like, he's not doing a good job of the defense so far, because right now, his defense so far has been complete joke. like as you look at like as far as I'm concerned, the Bucks are frauds, like they are. And I'm gonna look at this defense so far for the Bucks. Let's look at this. Okay, so for okay, so they're 21st in total offense, especially in rushing yards. They're 20th in passing yards. They're 16 on third down, 15th in points per drive. Then defense, they are 26 in total defense. They are like 26 in total defense because their defense stinks. And then they are also ranked 30th in passing defense because their pass defense also stinks. They are 24th in points allowed, which that stinks. They're 20th on third down where they can't get stops like letting other teams convert. And the only issue they don't have on defense is run defense. So they're top 10 in run defense. So yeah, their run defense is okay, but you just couldn't stop Bijan Robinson. You couldn't tackle Bijan Robinson. So that's the only issue they don't have on defense is the run defense. Like this is unbelievable though. Like the Bucks should have at least just kept Todd Bowles at the DC, and they could have just kept Liam Cohen or Dave Canales. They would have been better options. I mean, like I've been saying, Todd Bowles. Like, I've been saying this for like I don't know how many years. I've been saying this for like over like the past like for like over like 2 years, for like over like a year or two. Like I've been saying this for like 2 years. Todd Bowles is good as a DC, but not good as a head coach. Like he doesn't deserve a head coaching job. He should move back to DC. I'll look to hire somebody else. And the Bucks so far, they won a Super Bowl with Byron Leftwich, and he was a bad offensive coordinator. So lucky he's not there as offensive coordinator, which firing him did help. Because now you got a better offensive coordinator, which I don't know his name, but I don't think he's gonna be the next Liam Cohen or Dan Canales. And Bruce Arians was a really good coach for this franchise, and he took the Bucks to the Super Bowl. And he took this to the playoffs. But he also retired due to the health concerns. Like, this is unbelievable. Like, this Bucks team is such a joke. And they're such frauds. This team may not even make the playoffs this year. Because if they keep playing defense like this, they're in a lot of trouble. Because as I look at this division, this like NFC South division is a joke. Because the Panthers just lost. Because you have two teams in your division that won, and the Panthers just lost. So basically, it's probably going to be between the Bucks or the Panthers going to take that division. I don't really know because the Bucks better get right, because if this defense continues to play soft like this, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. So yeah, so basically, the Falcons are just frauds. Now, I want to talk about the Ravens shutting out the Bengals. Because so far, the Bengals are eliminated from the playoffs after the Ravens shut them out. And it was a really good win by the Ravens, though. I like how the way the Ravens played so far as an offense. I thought, the Ravens offensively looked pretty good. They was able. I was like how the way they start to run the football. Lamar Jackson kind of had a good game. And also, the defense so far played really good, not allowing any points. Like, the Ravens looked like they were ready to go. Like, they were ready to go. Like, the Ravens looked like they were ready to go. And so far, this team's not finished. And I feel like I'm probably going to be hopeful for them because since the Ravens won the game and they started to show some fight, because if their offense can find a way to start playing, and if their offense finds a way to at least like get back to where it was, and their defense starts to get back to playing where it was, you can talk about a potential playoff team for the Ravens, because right now they're sitting at 7-7. They're still in second place in division, and I feel like the Bengals so far, the Bengals so far. I mean, the Bengals so far did not look ready to play. Like the offense so far, they did not do much to score. Like they couldn't sustain drives, and all of a sudden the defense so far looked tired out there. Like it did. And so far for the Bengals, their season's close to being over, and it's really too late to make changes right now because this team is 4-10, and we already know they're not going to make the playoffs. Now the Ravens seem like they're having more to play for because this is a team that's probably could totally reach the playoffs though, which I don't really know. I could totally see them making the playoffs because you might as well give credit to the Ravens for bouncing back with a win. Coming out ready to play. I mean, the Bengals have a lot of work to do in the offseason because right now this team's not going to go anywhere to the playoffs because we know their season's over. So, yeah. So, by the way, good win by the Ravens so far. Hope they can keep the streak going though. Because their schedule's looking tough because they have to play the Patriots, the Packers, and the Steelers. Like, especially against 3 playoff teams as well. Because now the Steelers are leading first in the division. So we can get so yeah. So we're gonna see what happens. Now I want to talk about the Bills versus Patriots game because so far the Bills came back and beat the Patriots 35-31. Because as right now, both these two teams are like contender in the AFC because right now, the Bills, I like how the way the Bills looked at against, I like how the way the Bills looked at offensively late in the second half. Like things weren't looking good for them against the Bills. Like, they weren't looking good, in the first half, they were struggling to find a rhythm offensively, and all of a sudden in the second half, they were able to get it going. They were able to coming back. Now, both teams were able to run the ball. Both teams weren't able to throw much, but they were able to run the ball much. The Patriots outgained them by 385 to 349 yards. There were a few punts in this game. The Patriots had like 7 penalties, and all of a sudden, the Bills found a way to overcome and win that. And so far, the Bills' run defense is still the problem because they allowed the Patriots to run for over 200 rushing yards. And all of a sudden, the Bills had 168 rushing yards. So both teams were able to run the ball. And all of a sudden, it was a fun game to watch as well. Josh Allen had 3 touchdown passes. Drake May had none. And I thought TreVeyon Henderson was like a difference maker. And James Cook was a difference maker as well, too. I feel like TreVeyon Henderson could be the next great running back in the future. Like he will be. So, yeah, even despite the Bills being the Patriots will be fine. They still be contenders. Because, they found a way to beat a good Bills team. I mean, the Bills found a way to beat a good Patriots team. So now we can make our prediction, see who will win the AFC East between the Patriots and Bills. Because right now the Patriots are leading first place in the division. So we're going to see what happens. So good win by Buffalo. Now, I want to talk about the Chiefs because the Chiefs right now, for the first time since 2014, will not make the NFL playoffs. So, which this means that since they got eliminated from playoff contention, they're finished. They're done. Now, I want to talk about the positives for the Chiefs because so far, this has been like nearly a losing season for Kansas City because by that standpoint, Kansas City so far are on a 3-game losing streak and lost 3 games in a row. Now, I want to talk about the Chiefs by their standpoint because it's been a nightmare season for the Chiefs and Mahomes because Mahomes have never had a losing season in his career. Because so far, the Chiefs they have not looked at like themselves for like the past 2 weeks because so far you lost against the Dallas Cowboys, they lost against the Houston Texans, and they lost against the Chargers. Now, the offense has not been the same since week 13, but you should have beaten the Cowboys though. And then against the Texans, they lost that game by double digits. They couldn't get their offense going. But if I would have thought about it, they could have beaten the Chargers, though, because basically they're up 13-3 in the first half, and all of a sudden they just made the Chargers storm back on them. Like, they just made them do it. Like, I don't understand why. Like, they made them do it. Because I want to talk about how the Chiefs finished because they should have at least just beat I don't understand why because this is frustrating. Like I've been picking the Chiefs to win every week except for the Cowboys. I've been picking them to win like every week for like 2 games straight, but all of a sudden they start to fall apart. Like they couldn't get their offense going against the Texans, and they couldn't get like they got it a little bit going against Chargers, but all of a sudden, but somehow the Chargers came back on them. Because here's the thing: Mahomes went down with an injury. Now he suffered a bad knee injury, was a torn ACL and LCL, which he is out for the season, which he pretty much is. So he won't be able to play for the final 3 games. And all of a sudden, Gardner Minshew comes in the game. The Chiefs were trying to be in position to win the game to force overtime, but all of a sudden, Gardner Minshew throws a bad interception on a game-winning drive to at least end their season, which that's terrible. Like the Chiefs right now looking like they're in regression. Like they look kind of old. They look regression. Now Travis Kelce has not been the same player recently. He has regressed, but yeah, you could say he had a good game against the Chargers. He had a better game than last week, you know. But it seems like he's not the same player. Like he has regressed. The offensive line is dealing with injuries and all that, but they have not looked the same since injuries. But the defense so far, it's been looking good recently though. Like it was good, but all of a sudden, their defense has been doing really good so far. It's just that their offense right now is not been able to produce. Like they're not able to get things going offensively. Like their offense can't produce. Like what's going on? Like it's just a 3 and out, and then all of a sudden just a drop pass, a sloppy play. Guys aren't getting open, separated with play action. Like not able to sustain drive. What's going on with the offense? Like get the offense going. Like defensively, your defense is keeping you in the game, but it's just their offense is just not playing as good. Like they just gotta do better. And all of a sudden, when the Chiefs so far, having gone through the years where this team is totally right now, the team who has lost in the Super Bowl back in February is now on a Super Bowl hangover. Because I've been saying the Super Bowl hangover is officially here, and we know their dynasty is over. Because now we won't see the Chiefs in the playoffs right now. Because now it's too late to make changes. Because this team's 6-8, and they're totally eliminated from the playoffs. And without, Patrick Mahomes, they may not even win for the rest of the season. And especially the Chiefs have not had a losing season in a while. So you could just argue saying that, the Chiefs, the last time the Chiefs had a losing season was like 2012, where they won 2 games. Which, yeah, that's true because they did win 2 games and they were like the worst team in the league by then. And now you're just counting on, no certain players. I like Andy Reid. He's good as a coach. They got great receivers like Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, and Xavier Worthy. Isaiah Pacheco, he's fine, but he's like not great. Kareem Hunt, he's okay, but he's not great. I mean, I like good aspect of their offensive line. I like their defense. They got some talent there. C. Spagnuolo's a really great defense coordinator. So, yeah, so basically, the Chiefs so far, their season's over. Like, it's done. Like, man, like, I don't want to talk about it anymore because this is, like, very disappointing for the Chiefs. Like, now you can argue saying that, if they lose another game, it's probably going to be the first losing season they ever had for, like, in forever. Because I don't know when the last time they did it. Because now Mahomes so far, he's just gonna be missed for the rest of this year, and now they're gonna move to Gardner Minshew. So yeah, so far the Chiefs, they're done. Like they're finished. Like no playoffs for them. Like yeah, now the AFC West is entering a new chapter this year with the after the Chiefs winning the division 9 straight times. Now it's come to an end. And now they won't win the division. Now it's either going to be the Broncos winning the division or the Chargers. So yeah. So by the way, Chiefs are finished and they're done. Like, see them running back next year. I mean, no playoffs for them. Now I want to talk about the Packers versus Broncos game because so far the Broncos won 34-26. And so far, the Packers, they were up 23-14 in the first half. And then all of a sudden, the Packers have collapsed. Here's why. Now, so far the defense was not really playing as good. Like, it didn't play great because they allowed 34 points to the Broncos. And Bo Nix, Bo Nix had about like 4 passing touchdowns and 302 passing yards and 23 for 34 and no INTs. And they couldn't run the football. But Cortland Sutton had a good game. The Broncos had 3 sacks. The Packers had 0. And Micah Parsons went down with an injury. And Christian Watson went down with an injury as well. But the Packers offense so far, they had no turnovers. But the Packers so far, they could have at least won the game. But all of a sudden, they couldn't convert on 4th down. That's allowed the Broncos to win the game. So, yeah, it was a really good game by them because I thought the Packers were going to win. And all of a sudden, Because the Packers, they're because I like how the way the Packers looked at offensively against the Broncos, but the Broncos looked at pretty much better offensively. Like they were throwing the ball, they were like they couldn't run the ball, but Green Bay ran the ball a little bit better than them. So yeah, so far, despite the Packers' loss, they'll be fine, especially with the injuries because they're sitting at 9-4-1 in the division and still have a chance to make the playoffs. And the Broncos right now have clinched a playoff berth, and now they're the best team in the division, and especially the best team in the league and the best team in the AFC. So yeah, great win by Denver. Now I want to talk about the Lions versus Rams game because this game was pretty good. Like this was almost could be totally the game of the year. Now the Rams win this game 41-34. Now, let's talk about the positives of the Rams. Cuz so far, you know, the Rams, the Rams have looked at pretty good so far offensively. Now, I like how the way both teams looked at offensively like they were able to move the ball, they were able to like control the game now. Now, here's the thing. Now, I wasn't impressed by the Lions defense again because the Rams had like over 500 total yards of offense. This is how bad the Lions defense was. And all of a sudden, the Rams had more rushing yards and rushed for 159 yards. The Lions had 70. The Lions couldn't run the ball, and the Rams ran the ball better than them. The Rams had 30 first downs. And so far, Stafford outplayed Goff, and the numbers were able to match. Now, Amon Ra had a breakout game. He went for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns and 3 catches. Uh, Jameson Williams went for over 100 yards as well. So basically, the Lions so far receivers were looking good, and they went for over 100 yards. And the Rams were looking so good offensively. Puka Nacua had another 100-yard game. Devontae Adams went down with an injury. I don't know if he's gonna play. So yeah, it was a good win by the Rams. Now I have questions about the Lions because so far the Lions are frauds, and like I've been saying, this defense is being way too predictable right now. Like they're giving up big plays down the field, like long passes, like they can't cover. Like they can stop the run, they can stop the pass. Like they can't stop the pass, but they can stop the run really well. But like I've been saying about the Lions, like they're being way too predictable defensively because now they're not looking like the same. Because if they're just being predictable, they're not going to be able to win. Like if they're being predictable on both sides of the ball, they ain't going to be able to win games. But yeah, the Lions offense, it was good enough to win games. Good enough to like 34 points is good enough to beat the Rams team, but all of a sudden they just gave up 41 points to them, which I didn't really expect them to score 40. But the Rams offense is totally the best in football. You just gotta give them credit. On the other side, the Lions have a lot of work to do because right now they're 8-6, and now they're looking like they're totally looking like a fraud, which they are frauds because they have lost to like a lot of good teams that they played, and they've been a little bit inconsistent lately. Like this team so far has been like taking. Now they're looking like they're taking a step back. Now you're just calling them the same old Lions, but no, this Lions team looks like they may not be the same as they were last year because now they must be taking a step back. And yeah, so far the Rams, they're like the much more, they were the better team to match it, which I should have picked the Rams because the Rams have a good offense that can really move the ball on anybody and that can be able to rip up any defense, which I should have picked them though. Like Stafford was a better quarterback. He's the MVP right now, which is MVP season for them. Um, the Rams are like their defense is a lot better, and that was a difference maker. And I should have picked the Rams. And by the way, it was a good win by the Rams. And so far, the Lions got a lot of work to do because now the Lions, so far they have lost. Now they just drop again. So yeah, and they're frauds. So yeah, good win by the Rams, by the way. Now, I want to talk about this game, the Vikings versus the Cowboys, because this game was touched another disaster by the Cowboys. Because so far, the Cowboys are 6-7-1 on the season against the Vikings. Because so far, the Vikings, are not looking like the same team. Like so far, the Vikings so far have won 2 of their games back to back against Commanders and Giants. And so far, the Cowboys have lost their last 2 games into the Vikings and Lions. Like, this was crazy. Now, I want to talk about the Cowboys so far in terms of their defense. Because as far as I'm concerned, the Cowboys defense just continues not to find answers. Like, what are they doing defensively? Like, how are you giving up big plays? Like, what are you doing defensively? Like, how are you letting the Vikings offense rip you up? Like, here's the thing. Now, the Cowboys defense, it was playing a little bit good. Like in the first half, they was able to take the football away and such like that. Yeah, but at the same time, the Cowboys defense just chokes once again, which it pretty much did. Like, here's the thing. They just made JJ McCarthy look like prime Kirk Cousins out there against his defense. Like, how do you not blitz JJ McCarthy? Like, how do you not blitz him? Because here's the thing. The Vikings offense has been not good all year. They have been like a disaster all year. Like, they can't run the ball, they can't throw the ball. Like, yeah, the defense is okay, but offensively, they were just like they're not good. But they were able to move the ball. They were able to produce. Like, trust me, JJ McCarthy was able. Like, he was running around, he was avoiding the rush, he was throwing lasers out there. Like the Cowboys defense was totally getting shredded. Like, the Vikings couldn't run the ball, but they were throwing the ball. Like, the Cowboys defense was getting shredded once again. Because right now, the defense totally got shredded by the Lions. And now this defense gets shredded by the Vikings. Especially with Dallas losing 2 games like this back to back. That's just terrible for this team. And right now, they're in a position where they're going to miss the playoffs, though. Because now they're in a position where where they could be missing the playoffs. Because right now, the Eagles are leading their division. They're the best team in the NFC East, and they're probably going to win the division. But right now, I don't know if I have really hope for the Cowboys, because right now, they're not finding ways they can be able to win games. Like here's the thing, like, their offense is pretty good. I mean, CeeDee Lamb is looking good. George Pickens looks good. Jake Ferguson, Javonte Williams is running hard. He looking good. O-line is good. Dak's pretty good. But the defense is just bad. Like, it's like terrible. Like here's the thing. Like, the Cowboys cannot get pressure if they don't blitz. Like, they can't. Because I don't know what Matt Eberflus is doing. Like, he's not really doing a really good job of the defense. Like, he looked like Todd Bowles on Thursday, where he was getting diced up. Like, he was getting diced up. Like, he couldn't know what he didn't know what to do. Like, this guy is over his head. Like, Like, he's over his head. Like, his defense cannot find answers. Like, it's not like they don't have talent, but they do got some players. I thought Quentin Williams did help the run defense. The run defense is good, but their pass defense is not great. Like, how do you not know what to do on defense against the pass? Like, seriously. Now you just got out coached by Kevin O'Connell. Like, Kevin O'Connell was shredding Matt Eberflus' defense. Like, with the quick throws, the screen pass, the play action. Like, you got to give this guy credit. Like, this guy did a really good job at the offense. JJ McCarthy was looking better out there. Like, yeah. But at the same time, the Cowboys outgained it by 400 yards, and all of a sudden they still outgained the Vikings by 402 yards or 376, and somehow the Cowboys still lost. Like, basically, like, they were like down by like they were down by like 11 points, and all of a sudden, you lost the game by like 8 points because your offense so far, they couldn't convert on fourth down. The defense, so far could, and all of a sudden it was looking pretty good, and all of a sudden the defense couldn't get a stop when they need to. Like, I've been saying this for weeks. Like, Cowboys defense needs to get a stop. Like, they need to get a stop. Because the offense so far, it is pretty good, and the defense cannot get a stop when they need to get a stop. Like, I've been saying this. Like Dallas defense so far was looking tired out there almost the whole game. Like, the reason why they were giving up so many big plays because they were tired, because they be on the field of the majority of the game. Because all they were just doing, they were just letting them convert on fourth down after the Vikings had 3 and out. Because, it was just forward passes after forward passes again. They just got to do better. Like, they just got to do a better job of that. Like, Matt Eberflus, I feel like he needs to go because he's not a good defense coordinator. Because I would like the Cowboys to at least get a different defense coordinator who can call plays, because right now it's not working. Because now the system's not working for him to stop the pass. But now he did improve to stop the run. Because I've been saying this for weeks about the Cowboys defense. Like you can't stop the run unless you load the box, and you can't cover unless you put everybody in coverage. Like, that's the problem with the Cowboys defense. Like, what does Eberflus do defensively? Like, he needs to do better. Like their linebackers can't cover and their corners can't cover. But now you can just say DaRon Bland did an excellent job on Justin Jefferson, which he didn't get a lot of big plays in because Justin Jefferson only had 2 catches for 22 receiving yards and no touchdowns. So, yeah. So, give the Vikings credit. Good win for them. Cowboys just got a lot of work to do because this team might not make the playoffs this year. So, yeah. Good win by Minnesota. And lastly, I want to talk about the Dolphins versus Steelers game because this game was like a disaster last night. The Steelers won this game 28-15. And all of a sudden, the Steelers so far, they have been looking great offensively. They was able to get the run game going. Like, Kenneth Gainwell had a really good game. DK Metcalf had a good game. And Pat Freiermuth did. Their defense looked pretty good. They were able to stop the run. The defense was able to get pressure. The Dolphins so far, it's been a nightmare for this game. The Dolphins offense did struggle to get something going. And all of a sudden, their defense so far was looking tired, but it looked okay, but a little bit of the game until they start falling apart. So yeah. So far, the Steelers are looking like a contender right now, and they're leading first place in the AFC North. And so far, the Dolphins are right now finished after losing this game. Because so far, I feel like it's too late for Miami to make changes because this team's 6-8, and now we already know since they're eliminated from playoff contention, they're not going to make the playoffs. And so far, I want to talk about the stats. Aaron Rodgers so far was 220. He was 23 for 27, 224 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Tua was 22 for 28, 253 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Devon Achane only has 60 rushing yards off of 12 carries and averaging 5 points. Kenneth Gainwell averaged like 6.2 a game. And Steelers had 336 total yards, 285, so which that's good. So yeah, so basically it was a good win by Pittsburgh. You might as well give them credit, and the Dolphins do have a lot of work to do. So yeah, it was a good win by the Steelers. Well, those are all my Week 15 reactions for this week for my total recap. And thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of my reactions. So this is Emmanuel Jones, a big fan. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later. Peace.